Come on, OBS. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back for our next episode of Animus. It's been a minute, so I am excited to get back into this game and hang out with all these wonderful people. Before we do that, though, I'm just going to throw some stuff into chat about our sponsors, which is Fundamental RPG, which is the system this game runs on. It is a simple D20 system. It's not tied to high fantasy, so you can use it to play sci-fi, obviously, or high fantasy, or anything in between. It also doesn't have a horrible gaming license on it that would take 25% of people's profits if they decided to build off of it. So, there's that too. Also, Ravenflight Games, which is also one of my brands. It's where I do my professional GMing. You can find out about the campaigns and things I have going on over at Start Playing Games. For that, I have one starting up on Thursday for Session 0. That is running on Monster of the Week, and it is a time-traveling horror game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You should go check that out. And then finally, Blackfeather Guild is affiliated with Die Hard Dice. So if you want to use the code Blackfeather over at dieharddice.com, you can get 10% off of your order, which is pretty cool. All of that out of the way, let's do intros. We'll start at the top left with Quinn. Tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Quinn. I'm a writer and a game designer, and I'm playing Sparky tonight, who doesn't have a cracked voice. So they are the assassin turns kind of like fixer almost for the crew now. Very good at speaking, very good at infiltration, not great at socials, hilariously. And they're just a panic animal.
We love Sparky. All right, next we've got V. Tell us a little bit about Annie and yourself.
Hi, I'm V, or Vanessa. I'm a digital artist. I also do some watercolor and pencil sketch stuff. If you'd like to take a look at any of my work, I have an art Twitter, which is at PepperoDraws, pepper like the candy. And I also have a coffee page, or a Ko-fi page, whatever you want to say, which is coffee.com/PepperoDraws. So you can check out all my work there. I play Annie, who is sort of like the Robin Hood character of the group. But rather than stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, she has spent her time stealing from the rich and selling to the less rich. She has recently said goodbye to her little brother, who is staying on planet side. In the meantime, while her and the crew are up to their shenanigans, which she is very nervous about, but she left him in the very capable hands of Alistair, who was my character from last season. So yeah, she's trying to ride the anxiety and put it towards something useful. Yeah, that's me and Eddie.
Awesome. Next we've got Alex. Tell us a little bit about Billy and yourself.
Yo, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can find me around at also on Ko-fi with Can Chaos Art. If you were interested in my stuff. Yeah, I play Billy Briggs. She's one of the newer members of the crew. Not quite as new as Lev, by like 2 days. But yeah, no, she's a former miner who was basically one of the experiments before they started doing the brain in a jar cybernetics. And yeah, she's completely and absolutely indebted to the crew, and yeah.
Awesome. Next we've got Hannah. Tell us a little bit about Lev and yourself.
Hey, hi, I'm Hannah, Hannah, where I exist, when I exist, how I exist. I'm going to be playing Lev tonight, who is the crew's fancy new doctor and gun person, maybe. I'm a complex, multifaceted person. Yeah.
Awesome. And then Goody, tell us a little bit about Captain and yourself.
I'm Goody, and I play Captain. Captain is, you know, as the name says, the captain. And she is an android, but she has sentience, and while she does not want to be a human, she just wants to understand them better, and she thinks they're silly, strange, but also surprisingly survivable. And she also happens to be a Black Ops murder droid. But yeah.
Awesome. That just leaves me. I'm Raven. I'm a professional game master and game designer. And I do a whole bunch of other things that are tabletop related. You can find everything that I do over on my Twitter or over on Hive at the same name, just right below my face. And then I threw a link in chat earlier to start playing games, where you can hire me to run a game for you. I play everybody else in the galaxy, including Daisy, who was the first season big bad, who's now on the ship and part of the crew, and Rip, who has been a recurring big bad, who is now sort of allied with the crew and on the ship, which has made life very interesting. Part of the crew, part of the ship. When we left off last session, as I said earlier, it's been a minute since the last episode because of holidays and illnesses and things like that. So I don't remember quite everything about the last session, but I do recall that you guys hired Zevi to go harass a bunch of ships that are shipping things for the androids. That company was Zim Labs, and you're still on Craig Sylvania at the Reverend Ambrose's compound. Lev and Dr. Carter are still working on the vaccine. They were getting pretty close to being able to finish that, and you were talking about heading back to the mining planet to check on everybody because you had not heard anything from them in a while. So that's kind of where we're at. Since you're still at the compound for the moment, what would you like to do before, I guess, before heading out?
Oh, I mean, I think I'd like to keep tabs on what Ambrose is doing, if at all. Like, not necessarily surveillance, but just like if there's any kind of communiques about selling us out or otherwise trapping us here.
The paranoia.
Yeah.
God, the paranoia.
What
I
would
forgot about it.
the Reverend be up to right now?
How long has it been since Violentus? Did we say how long it's been?
It's a good question. Probably at least a couple months, if not a little bit longer.
Well, if anything, he's probably overseeing and trying to get his compound still like fully repaired, because it took quite a beating then.
That's very true.
And like, because he has to, appear useful to his people, he is physically helping rebuild things.
Okay.
Sleeves rolled up and everything.
Gotcha. So Sparky, that's pretty much what you're observing so far.
What is he up to? What is
So suspicious.
Yeah, Sparky's mostly just sitting there, like on a stakeout sort of thing, like totally suspicious but non-suspicious in the local market or whatever. Just having that view.
Okay. Let's get a blend-in roll to see how well Sparky is doing that.
Probably not well, if I remember.
I just imagine
right.
Sparky having like set up like a sniper's nest somewhere, like with these giant binoculars, like,
Oh, he's up to something sinister. I bet. Oh, I bet my money on it. I don't know why it turned into like a 1950s villain.
22.
That's really sad. I have a 10 in that.
Yeah. So you're doing an okay job. The Reverend's probably not noticing that you're watching him. But there's definitely like the people in the compound, the cultists, if you will, who periodically
Cultist is such a harsh word.
and yet so fitting.
They're a fellowship, Raven.
A fellowship of cultists. They will occasionally walk by you and be like, "Are you okay? You seem a little off."
Every time someone interacts with them directly, they jump. They obviously like they noticed me. I've been found out, and then they move like a good 10 meters away and find a different spot.
It
And they
happens
bring you a
like
sandwich.
yeah, it happens like half a dozen times over the course of the day. And yeah, they probably bring you like a sandwich. Like, are you hungry? Do you need something to eat? Here's
Are
a
your
sandwich.
parents around?
Is there someone we could call?
Yeah, exactly.
You seem agitated. Do you want to talk about it?
Anytime somebody from the crew is like vaguely within distance, Sparky just like motions at them to say, "No, there's my parent. It's fine."
Oh, all right. So that's what Sparky's doing. What about everybody else?
Science, medicine, words. Possibly
Captain
getting a
would
new phone
probably-
because I had to throw mine into a fucking void after what
That's
happened.
Captain's probably helping repair things, because why not?
Okay. So yeah, the awkward phone call with the ex was just last time. That was so much fun. But yeah, you're working on the vaccine. The other doctor, Dr. Carter, is also working on that. Let's do some medicine rolls and see if we're getting any closer to finishing that.
I love medicine. What is my medic? +6.
I just pictured Lev like, I love medicine. Look, you're on the med bay. None of this makes sense.
33.
Nice. And one more?
Oh, yes, of course. 35.
Fantastic. So between the two of you, it's been like, I think a week here at the compound at this point. You feel like you finally cracked it and are ready to start testing.
Fuck, what is like the ethical standards for testing in this age?
The
Yes.
Rev would probably offer someone up if you asked.
It's a post-capitalistic society with an emphasis on profit and consumerism. So
And war androids.
So the
What are
standards. Yeah, ethics. I don't even know her. Basically, is what you're looking at for the modern standards. So the question is, what are Lev's ethics and morals on this?
I feel like especially Dr. Carter, after what the fuck happened last time, we would both be very high standards.
Yes.
Fuck.
You can test it on me. If you can find me.
We'll just
Like-
ask the cultist.
Yeah.
Personally,
Have you seen our child?
I'm personally conflicted because I'm a vegan, so I'm against animal testing in general. So I'm like, fuck, what do I do? Shit. Would you grow a person to do human testing on?
You wouldn't grow a person.
But if a
That's
human
what
can
popped in my head,
consent
too.
to
It's
the
like,
testing,
you wouldn't download a test subject.
yes, I would.
Yeah, I guess at that point we'd like go to the Reverend and be like, we're pretty sure we're done this. Do you have any people who would be okay with consenting to test?
They'll be okay if I tell them to be okay.
That's not how consent works.
Listen, So long as my people get this year vaccination, they'll be fine with using it.
Dr. Carter?
I mean, this is a very morally gray area.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't test this and we don't get it out, there's a very real chance that millions, if not billions, of people could die.
Yep.
So,
I'll tell him Harold don't want him to go out this way.
Right.
you know, and Dr. Carter sort of scrunches her eyebrows and nose a little bit for a second, and then looks up at the Reverend. Goes, you know, it would actually feel a lot more ethical if they were being led by example. Perhaps we should test it on you first.
You sure it's safe? You seem like a smart lot.
It's perfectly safe for testing.
Don't lie. Am I gonna disintegrate?
No.
You're not gonna
Am I gonna grow a limb that I don't want?
I can honestly say you will not disintegrate or grow extra limbs.
What about an extra limb I do want?
We could
You'd
talk.
have to pay us
We could talk
extra for
later.
that.
Yeah.
All right, so long as you're sure that nothing's gonna probably kill me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
We're sure that nothing's probably going to kill you.
Absolutely sure that nothing is probably most likely not going to kill you.
You doctors are as bad as me. Yeah, you can jab me.
I presume that the Reverend would want to have this be a very public thing that happens, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 80% of the time it works every time.
80% of the time it works every time.
We're having a public testing.
Yep. So,
He will frame
presumably,
it that Harold is protecting him, and he's going to protect all of them because, again, this isn't how they're supposed to go out.
that's right.
Harold's picky about how you'll die.
These are just the preservatives for to keep you all fresh until Harold comes and eats everybody.
Like jam.
It's just
Like-
pectin in a needle.
I'm fairly certain that's not going to be good for you.
So I presume that the Reverend would want to hold like an assembly or something like that for this.
Yes. In the meeting hall.
Perfect. So that happens.
Which straight up looks like the thing from Midsummer.
Oh my god.
Cool.
There's no bear anywhere, don't worry.
Oh my god.
Like, I've never been less sure of my decision to go into medicine.
So everybody gathers around. Does everybody from the crew go see this spectacle as well?
Hear ye, hear ye. Come get your pokes.
All right. So Dr.
I'm
Carter.
sorry, but I imagine somebody desperately in the background going, "Not that kind of poke! Not that kind of poke!"
My god. So Dr. Carter, has the little alcohol swab and gets the Reverend all set up to go. Does a little like hypo spray type thing. And then let's do just a d20 roll to see
Don't die,
what
motherfucker.
happens.
Don't do it. I can't.
Me or the doctor?
I
Reverend.
think you, the Reverend.
Oh boy.
So yeah, you seem perfectly fine. A little dizzy. Your arm feels a little warm, but it seems to be okay.
And then we have to, like, after all of the fucking pomp and circumstance, we have to take him back to the lab for like a whole bunch of like tests.
Yeah. But
Remind me how to roll a d20 again.
slash r space d20.
That's
That took
what
me a
I
hot
forgot the
second.
space.
Yeah, I was like, my first thought was like, you just roll it.
I mean, I can get one out of the drawer. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want, girl? Come on.
My ADHD brain was just like, what? Wouldn't you just roll
With
it?
your
It did-
hand, you idiot.
Have you
Like,
tried turning it on and off again?
And then I was like, oh, and roll 20. That makes way more sense. Oh my god.
it's a 14.
I think Raven was rolling.
Yeah, which oddly enough, that's what I rolled was a 14.
Oh, we are in sync.
Yeah.
The
And
Reverend's
he's
number.
dead.
Oh God.
So yeah, the Reverend, you know, maybe a little bit of a hot flash, a little woozy, but otherwise okay. And they take you back to the lab, and Dr. Carter's like, all right, now we've got this special sealed room where we need to expose you to the weapon to make sure that you don't
Die.
explode.
Can I get a cool compress? I've got some hot sweats going on here.
Oh,
Yeah, look,
sure. No,
Love goes and grabs
I'd
some
like to
shit.
die at least a little more comfortably, so my head's gonna explode.
No, your brain inside your head.
yeah.
Oh, that's so much better. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, like, your perfectly coiffed hair will be fine. Does he have hair?
Oh yeah, he has kind of
Okay.
like jaw length wavy hair.
Oh,
Yeah, you get several cold packs and they get you in there. And Dr. Carter just looks at you and says, all right, last chance to back out.
I don't back down from shit except for a bad deal. And then I kill the person who tried to give me the bad deal.
I
Right.
feel like Lev and Carter exchange a look like,
Yeah, Carter just kind of looks at you like, I suddenly feel more okay about this. And presses the button.
into the pod.
Yep, presses the button. The pod starts to fill with this sort of misty vapor. And few minutes go by.
Then we also have to test if it like even would have affected him in the first place, because like it didn't affect everyone, right?
That's true. That is very true.
I guess we'll like take a blood sample and see how the vaccine interacted with the virus in his blood system.
Yes.
A medicine science.
Medicine words. Yeah, the Reverend seems to be okay. Nothing really happens. There's like a purging spray that comes on that kills, everything in the room except for you. And then it opens up and you are free to go.
Everybody
shit
gets some
stinks.
samples.
Yeah.
Surprised you can spell it at all. It's a fucking virus.
Well, it's a stanky virus. Y'all would think they would have the smarts if you're gonna make some kind of bioweapon, make it undetectable by a good schnoz.
I will make a note of that for future
Yeah,
reference.
so am I.
Or future bioweapons. Thank you for your assistance, Reverend. Just like kind of usher him out of the fucking
You want me to tell you guys that when it to have my people line up, or how long is it gonna take for my people to get inoculated? Inoculated. I know what words are.
We'll need a few more hours to like just comb through the results, make sure everything went as planned. And then probably, yeah, if nothing goes fucking batshit insane.
All right, I'm gonna go talk to them about my triumphant return. I overcame death from the stinky ass virus.
Stinky death virus.
Stinky death virus. You got it, doctor.
And Carter's just like pinching the bridge of her nose. Oh my god. Um, after the Reverend is out of the room, Carter looks at you, Levin. It's just like, oh my god, thank you. I didn't think he was ever going to shut up.
He does seem like the type who could talk for a while. She missed the dinner, right?
I think so, yeah. Because she was steadily working on the vaccine.
Where he invited everyone to an orgy.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Oh my god. Anyway.
And y'all missed out.
Yep. So,
I'm sure we did.
So Dr. Carter, again, she's like, thank you, I didn't think he was going to shut up. And then starts working on the samples. Some time goes by, and she comes to you pretty excited. It's like, Lev, we did it. Like, that would have killed him if he didn't have the vaccine.
That is almost too bad.
Almost, but it gave us some really good information. So, yeah, we can start giving this out, and there might be some people that have side effects that we don't know how to predict yet, but it will definitely be better than, your brain melting and exploding out of you violently.
That is my basic understanding of vaccines.
Yeah. So
I guess we'll just bring in all his people and note down all of the reactions as they happen. And probably also ask him to have them note them down and then send it to us even after we leave.
Yeah, they have a couple people that are trained in medicine, so I'm just going to teach them how to administer it, and they can send the results to us so that we don't have to stay here any longer than necessary.
Love the way your brain works.
I love that my brain is still in my head and still works.
Same?
Yes, I'm also very glad of that. That your brain is there, because, yeah.
Because I helped with the thing.
Yes, that, exactly. And then, the subtitles, if someone was watching this underneath, would read gay panic. But congratulations, you finally have the vaccine.
Even unlocked.
Yep. Dr. Carter gay panics out of the room, goes to show one of the cultists or fellowship people how to administer it.
Love stands in the lab for a bit after and is just like, wait a second. No, it couldn't be.
She was just being really nice.
We're just coworker medicine people, science med.
We're just good coworkers and roommates. It's fine.
I just lifted her off of her feet and saved her from a black ops ship. It's fine.
It's totally fine. So meanwhile, while that is all happening, what is Annie and what's the captain doing?
Annie has been and continues to be. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just ran upstairs and ran back down.
No worries.
She has been and continues to be monitoring ship routes. Any information about hotspots, places they should avoid. Just basically setting up an understanding of what routes are happening so that if they need to travel around, she's prepared to kind of guide a little bit.
Okay. And what about the captain?
The captain. Sorry.
Good.
Big thumping noise. I think my kid fell over. She's fine.
That's good.
When was the last time we were able to contact Vacation Grandpa?
That's been months.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
He's been pretty much MIA. You can try and contact him again if you want to, or try and contact somebody who might be able to get in touch with him.
Yeah, because I'm worried that like if I try to contact him directly, either A, that'll give away our position,
Valid.
or B, I'm worried that like A, he's dead, or B, maybe he went AWOL because he decided, screw this, I'm done. But yeah, I would like to try to contact him.
Okay. Do you have a particular way in mind that you would like to, like, take the circuitous route to contact him?
Do we know anyone that could track someone down? Not necessarily like kill them, but like figure out where they are. Because I don't
Remember
know if
their name. The assassin from the museum heist.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, I haven't thought about them in forever.
What was their name?
Val?
Sony or Sunny or something.
It was Val.
Val, yeah.
Val.
Yeah.
AKA, I'm completely wrong.
That's okay.
It's okay. I believe they did leave a calling card with you all, like ages ago.
God. Shit, it has been ages. Yeah, let's try to contact Val then. I hope they're okay.
Yeah, actually, you go to contact them, and there's no video or audio, but a chat option comes up, and someone's there. It says, "Hello. Didn't think I was going to hear from you."
I'm glad to see that you're alive given the current state of things.
Well, war is very good for business.
I would imagine it is for you. I was wondering if you could help me track someone down, not for violent reasons. I just wish to know their location and their status.
There's a pause. A little bit of an uncomfortable pause. And then it has the, like, Val is typing notification. Who is it?
His name is Captain Nabisco, right?
Yes.
Did we give him a
His
first
name
name?
is-
Oh,
It's
did
Vacation
we?
Grandpa.
Well, it is Vacation
Snack
Grandpa.
Nabisco.
Where's my original notebook for this campaign?
I'm not sure if we ever gave him one. That's the thing.
I don't think we ever needed one, yeah.
Yeah, he was
we
just
haven't
captain.
really needed one.
Simon.
That's good.
That would be a
Simon
good one.
Nabisco.
Sure.
Let's see.
Okay,
Yep, it's just in the original notes as Commander Nabisco.
Okay, yeah.
Commander, who?
So-
Oh,
Simon it
right.
is.
We've been giving him the wrong rank. My bad.
Well, I think he's captain now.
Ooh.
Right.
He got a promotion since you first contacted him.
I thought captain was below commander.
I
I don't
Not
know
in the
shit.
Navy, I don't think.
Yeah, not
Okay.
It's a naval rank, so no.
I'll take your word for it. Simon Nabisco. He is a captain in the. Was he part of? Which one was he part of?
Oh,
We're just
Hold
asking the
on.
hard questions today. Oh my god.
Yeah. Asking me stuff that happened like 2 years ago. What's?
How dare I?
Okay, he was originally with Vizco, which Vizco is now the NFA faction.
Right.
So,
Okay, so
the
he
ones
was
with the
with
androids.
Visco. Okay, so he was with Visco, but I have not had decent contact with him since probably around the time, probably before the war broke out.
Well, you did briefly during, like, right as the war was starting.
Didn't he say don't contact me?
Yeah, he kind of warned you
Yeah.
that shit was about to hit the fan in a very subtle way. And that was right around the time that y'all lost the cheese cooler.
Right. So yeah, we haven't had really good contact with him, and I just am concerned, like I said, of his status.
Okay, perfect. So on the other end, Val says, give me 24 hours. Here's my rate, half now, half on delivery. And
Is this something we can afford?
yeah, they send you a number that is like ludicrously expensive, but well within your means to pay.
Okay, word. Yeah. Deal.
All
I'll
right.
speak with you in 24 hours. Wiring you the amount right now.
And then there's no response, but after you say all that, it says Val has left the chat.
Okay.
Then
Captain's gonna go peruse the Fellowship's gardens because they're well kept.
that is true. They are. Yeah, they have all kinds of plants and stuff there. What is Billy up to?
Absolutely nothing, because there's absolutely nothing she can do to help out right now.
All right. So just like hanging out on the ship.
Should be hanging out with PD
Yep.
Jr.
She's been trying to like modify things for PD Jr. so it's easier for him to use.
That's awesome. That is something that he very much appreciates. You get,
Even if she has no charm skills whatsoever, she can at least fix things.
he's just glad for the company. You know, it's tough being a lizard. After you've been a human. But it's kind of hard to tell, but you're pretty sure his mental health is improving. Having somebody to hang out with and doing all of the improvement. Yes, I am saying it's not easy being green. Oh goodness. Occasionally Daisy will come by and just be like, "Hey, how's it going with PD?"
Daisy's still looked at with high suspicion.
Uh-huh.
It's just like, ask him?
Hey PD, how's it going with Billy? You having fun? Having an okay time? And PD just sort of looks at Daisy, sticks his tongue out for a second, stares blankly. Right. So I'm just gonna go, but have a good one, I guess.
Okay.
And then, yeah, Daisy just sort of awkwardly leaves the room.
It's so fucking awkward.
I love it. And then sometime later, yeah, Daisy really is trying. Sometime later that day, Daisy tracks down Annie, and knocks on the door.
She doesn't answer. She's clearly in there, but she doesn't answer.
She knocks again.
It takes a second, but this time she answers. She's just so laser focused on what she's doing that she's like, zone out, tunnel vision, like tongue half out.
Yep.
That kind of like in the mood kind of zone. Yeah, but second time the knock, she hears that one, gets up and opens the door.
Uh, and Daisy looks a bit like not exactly upset, but like a little bit nervous, and a little bit like maybe she's feeling kind of down. Um, her body language is a little bit like it would be if you are kind of depressed, so maybe slouching a little bit more than usual. Just sort of anxious, fidgeting. She's like, "Hey, Annie, have you heard anything from the Trash Pandas?"
No, not recently. I mean, they don't typically reach out to me. I reach out to them, but why?
I mean, it's not entirely unusual for there to be a long gap in communication, but I haven't heard from Lily in a while, and I can't reach her on our usual, like, sort of back channel methods. Just wondering if maybe you heard anything from anybody about her.
No, but I tell you what, I'm due in for a break and what I'm doing, so I'll send off a message, see what I can find out.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. I'm just kind of worried. We have gaps in communication because she's doing undercover stuff or radio silent or whatever, but it's not usually this long.
Yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it, Daisy. She's probably just caught up in something super important. And, I've worked with these guys before. I remember that now. She kind of like gives her a pointed little eye arrow. I remember that now.
Right. Right.
But it's all in good fun. There's clearly no malice anymore. There's no, real anger behind it.
Yeah,
She's
just
like,
gives back the that sort of sheepish I know we're playing but I still feel a little bad kind of
yeah
thing.
But she's like, yeah, so I mean, I know that sometimes when they get particularly into something, that communication can kind of thin out a little bit, but I will certainly send off a message, see what I can figure out for you, and I'll give you a ring on comms. Okay?
Yeah, thanks. That makes me feel a little better.
No problem.
And she sort of does the instinctual goes to give you a hug and then is not sure if she should, so it makes it awkward. It kind of ends up being like a sidearm hug.
Yeah, Annie does. She's not up for this, weird, awkward bullshit. It's Annie, so she does the big sister eye roll, like what the fuck, and just holds her arms out. She T poses. She just waits for Daisy.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, okay, all bets are off. She just almost tackle hugs you.
Annie's very good at holding her balance, despite some incidents in the past where she has not been great at balance, but she just gives Daisy a pat on the back, and she lets her hold on as long as she needs to.
It's a little bit of a long hug. You can tell she really needs this human contact. And then she sort of slowly pulls away and gives you a genuine smile. There's still a hint of worry on her face, but she definitely feels better than when she came to the door. It's like, thanks. I'm gonna go see if I can help with anything.
In response, Annie just gives a wink, discussing conspiracy theories, late night, whispered, secretive, just a wink. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, she just sort of gives a bigger grin and nods and then heads out.
And Annie will try to reach out to the Trash Pandas.
Yeah, you're able to get through to somebody. There's no name associated with the voice on the other end of the line. No video, and the voice is obviously being modified. But they do answer, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? What's your situation?"
Yeah, I'm actually just wondering if you could maybe check in on somebody for me. One of my crewmates is trying to get in contact with what's Lily's last name again?
Hall.
Lily Hall. She hasn't heard anything back from her in a little while, and just wondering if you guys are caught up in anything in particular that might be, throwing a little wrench in communication.
Yeah, what's your friend's relation to Lily?
I'm trying to remember if they were ever like officially a thing.
Yeah, they were dating, yeah.
Okay, all right, because I was like, Annie's not gonna want to like out them or something, like. But no, okay, they were like officially dating.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, Annie's just like, it's that's her girlfriend.
Gay. The relation is gay. Yes.
Yeah. Just the seal with its flippers up like gay.
So the voice on the other end of the line pauses. Like, right. Well, I don't want to worry them unnecessarily. But currently Lily is MIA. She was on a undercover mission. We have not been able to get in touch with her, and she missed her check-in a couple of days ago.
Anya's kind of like stunned to silence for a minute. And a million different things running through her mind, namely, how am I supposed to fucking say this to Daisy? Like, what the hell is, like, Jesus Christ. She takes a minute to like compose herself. Okay. Are you able to send me any information about her last known location?
Hold on. And there's, like, you can hear it being put on hold. And there's some weird like retro EDM music, hold music type deal that's like really poor quality. And then after a couple minutes they come back. They go, yeah, I just had to check and make sure you're cleared to have this information and whatnot. Anyways, you've been vouched for. I can send you the information of where she was last seen. Actually, if you're in the area and want to check it out, we don't really have anybody to that we can send out there. But he sends you the information, and it shows that she was on an undercover mission to the shipyards around Ceres in the Sol system. And the last they heard, she'd arrived, had been able to infiltrate, and was working on getting sensitive information.
Annie is about to make like a snarky, like when they say, oh, if you'd be able to go look for her, she's about to make a snarky comment, but then she opts to not do that because the situation is already precarious enough as it is. And she doesn't want her own little burst of anger to, upset any of the trash pandas because they're kind of important. So she just takes a moment, takes a breath. It's like, okay, back to baseline. And she very, her tone of voice is very tight, but she's like, we can certainly swing by and check it out. And if you could forward any information, obviously I know that you're not going to be able to give me all the details you have, but if at least you could send us some information regarding what we might be walking into, anything that we can prepare for, the nature of maybe not the information itself, but the nature of what we're stepping into is basically what she's asking for.
Yeah, anything that we get, we will report back to you. This was a pretty sensitive undercover mission, so we didn't really have a lot of contact. It was very brief transmissions to let us know, that she was reaching objectives. So the last we heard was that she was on the station, or at the shipyard, and everything was fine. So we have no idea what had happened after that.
Okay. Just keep me updated, please. Send any information as it comes in and anything that might be pertinent to help us find her. But we'll go take a look.
Yep, will do. Really appreciate this because all of our efforts are in the Centauri system right now. We're stretched really thin with everything. So yeah, if you can check that out, and you're fully approved to extract if you can. At this point, I think I'd rather have Lily back than continue with whatever mission is happening.
Yeah, we'll check it out. I'll let the captain know, and we'll keep you updated as well.
All right. Thanks again. And
thanks for the info.
Yeah, and then the line just clicks off.
Annie's gonna sit down for a couple minutes. I'm sure just a couple minutes are not gonna really have, hopefully, too much an impact on Lily's situation. Knock on wood. But she has to sit there and kind of process and figure out how she's gonna break this in a way that's not going to send Daisy into a tailspin.
Yeah.
If this was like a TV show, you'd get off Annie would get off the line and then just go, well, shit, and it would cut to commercial.
Yeah.
Or to the end of episode.
And in fact, that is exactly what Annie says. As soon as the line goes dead, she's like, well, shit.
Oh, I love that. So a lot going on there. We can fast forward to the next day, unless somebody has something they really want to do right then. So next day, the vaccine is all ready to go. There's really no more reason to stay here. What is everybody wanting to do? Also, assuming Annie hasn't talked to everybody yet.
Oh, true.
It's a team meeting time? Crew meeting?
It might be.
like we're all at breakfast and Lev's just like, we did it. We've done the vaccine.
Can Annie pull the crew together sneakily without Daisy first?
That's a good question. Let's try a blend in roll to see if you can casually
always ask one of us to distract her too.
grab the crew together.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I had to go get my laptop charger. A blend in from me?
Yep.
Okay, let's see what we got. Blend in's at the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. All right, and it is a presence check, which means if this goes horribly shitty, I can reroll it. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna reroll that.
Good call.
25.
Let's see. Yeah, you're good.
I mean, she's not being particularly not cartoonish tiptoeing around the ship. Like she's just, anytime she passes somebody, she's like, oh, I forgot to mention something to you. If I could pull you aside for a second. Like if she sees Daisy, she's still gonna like wave and say hello. Haven't heard anything back yet. Sorry. Like I'll keep you updated. Just a very nonchalant.
That's a lie.
Yep.
It's not. She hasn't heard anything. What do you mean?
Oh my goodness.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, you're able to get everybody together discreetly.
Cool. Dearly beloved. No, that's the wrong thing. I wish it was that, but it's not. Yeah, so Annie gathers everybody. She doesn't give them a whole lot of detail when she's gathering them, just that she has something important to report. So once everybody's together in the one room, she goes over to the hall, looks up and down, makes sure Daisy's not there. I feel like it would be comically accurate if she got a chair and checked the vent too. Just like everybody's looking around like, why the hell are we here? And there's Annie taking a chair and running to the vent, popping up to make sure Daisy's
Absolutely.
not in
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Captain would immediately say something like, should Daisy not be here as well?
No, Daisy should not be here as well, and I will tell you exactly why. It seems like she's not in the vent. Okay, so Daisy came to me yesterday. She wanted to know if I could reach out, or I guess she wanted to know initially if I had heard anything from the Trash Pandas, which I have not. So I reached out to them to ask if they had seen Lily. She's not spoken to Lily in a while. And they told me that she was missing. They don't know where she is.
Why did you not tell Daisy this?
Because I didn't want her to lose it. I have information. I know her last known location. They actually asked if we would be willing to send some people out to where she was supposed to be stationed, just to see if we can check in with her. I don't want to cause Daisy any unnecessary worry if that's not something that she needs to worry about. So I wanted to let you guys know to see if you had any input before we tell Daisy. Because I don't want her to worry if there's no need for it.
It'll be worse if she finds out you kept this from her.
Yeah, well,
Which is why we won't tell her that.
Annie pointedly looks at everybody and goes, yeah, well, she stole my memories. So it's not malicious. It's not malicious. It's just like, well, tomato. You weigh the pros and cons here. Yeah, she stole my memories. I'm not going to tell her because I don't want her to be upset. It's a little bit different. What she did was worse. She doesn't say that out loud, but that's the vibe.
Billy actually says, no, I'm pretty sure that stealing somebody's memories is worse.
Yeah.
Annie just points at Billy and then taps her nose.
Don't think a wrong action calls for more wrong actions?
You haven't been on this crew long enough. That's kind of
also,
how we work.
Yeah, that's also a very valid point, Lev. But given the fact that I don't think this is a wrong action, I kind of see it as a moot point. I'm not doing this to hurt her. Yeah.
Regardless of when we tell her, she's going to want to race off.
Yes. So if we can figure out how to race her in the right direction, it would be a lot safer for her if we can set up the parameters of what needs to be done and then let her attack the problem. We can still use her.
Anything except for it's just at the shipyards. Do we know anything about where she would be or where she's supposed to be?
So Raven, would they have sent over any appropriate details about where her drop point would have been?
Yeah, just like the building that she would have been in at the shipyard.
Okay, and do we have anything
who she would have been talking
contact? To? Okay, yeah. Just let Raven finish talking. Maybe we'll get the fucking answer.
Yeah, it's basically the guy in charge of overseeing special projects at the shipyard.
Okay.
Also, did you bring Rip into this meeting or no?
Annie would not have gone specifically looking for him because he might have shown up with a bloody nose, but anybody else is welcome to.
Okay. No,
You
that's
know,
totally
she
fine.
doesn't play nice with people who tried to kill her at one point, so.
Okay, but in Rip's defense, Annie did try to kill him first.
It's true. You did shoot
Annie
first in
didn't.
that.
Annie did not try to kill him. She tried to get him in the leg with a bolt to incapacitate him. It's different. He
And he
tried to
shot
kill her.
first.
Yeah, Annie shot first.
I don't care if Annie shot second, third, or 25th. The intention was not to kill. But anyway,
Morally
Yeah,
gray
but
vibe.
the
I
bomb
digress.
that Sparky used as that as a distraction to plant was meant to kill.
Yeah, no, that was 100% meant to kill.
yeah, but I don't control Sparky. And Annie
No.
doesn't control Sparky. Sparky barely controls Sparky. What do
It's
you mean?
true.
Annie has done nothing wrong in her life. What do you mean?
So we're going to rescue this Lily person then?
I don't know that we should all go though, because it's kind of like if she's meant to be doing like a super secret op, should all of us go? Because usually when all of us go, things get loud.
Well, I don't know necessarily how concerned they are with that. We do have the clear to extract her if that comes to it. They didn't not tell me to not blow things up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about.
I mean, I
Also,
can
I'm still
check
worried
back
about,
in.
Oh God, I forgot her name.
So-
Who runs the mining colony?
Sonia.
Sonia. We still haven't heard anything back from Sonia, and they still have a Black Ops ship that was grounded. Bioweapon in it. You might have heard about that.
Well, Sparky, given the fact that my little brother is there, yeah, probably.
Sparky definitely gives Annie that look of like, what the fuck happened? Like, what? We're never this mean to each other.
She just like shrugs, like, come on.
Read the room, Sparky. So what? I mean, if we go, then do we all go? Because I'd still like to go make sure the mining colony's okay. Because by the time we get back to it, they might be dead.
If both things demand our attention this badly, I see no issue with splitting our team.
Probably better going off to the mining colony because I know nothing about like sneaking into places. I mean, except for Tick.
And I can sneak into places. So if you want me going to Ceres, that's fine. I just want to make sure someone goes and checks on the miners.
Well, I'm not exactly good at sneaking, but I'm not sure how smart it would be to bring Dr. Carter near a place where potentially her ex-employers might be.
True. And people might get hurt at Ceres, knowing us.
People may potentially get hurt no matter where we go.
That's also true. Captain, do you have any thoughts about who should go where?
I would be fine with either. However, I am more equipped for sneaking. If somebody else would be comfortable captaining this ship, because I feel like we should be taking our shuttle to the shipyard.
True.
Our ship is a bit too conspicuous.
How far is the shipyard?
That's kind of what I'm worried about.
You're pretty far out because you're
We're
still
on like the edge.
yeah. You're outside of corporate space. So actually the mining colony would be kinda sorta on your way. Like it'd just be a slightly longer route than going a direct route, but not like terribly far out of your way.
So
We could do
swing
both.
by.
But we would have to make sure that Daisy understands that both need to act as priority.
Right. So who gets to break the news?
Why don't we tell her after we've hit the mining colony?
I don't believe that is fair to Daisy.
Yeah.
Trying to
she
keep
did
a human
ask me
from
for
worry.
information, so I could probably tell her.
It'd be pretty obvious if anyone else came with the information that
Yeah, that
Annie
would
had
be a
told
bit
us.
odd. Yeah.
If you need me present there as well, I can be. But if the information went to you, Annie, I believe you should be the one to pass it along.
Yeah, no, I can do it myself. She looks like she would probably be rather eating glass right now, but
Yep. Sparky's just giving her a thumbs up, like,
good luck. Annie's like hiding behind a desk, like, now Daisy, remember when you stole my memories?
Oh my god.
Listen, Annie's gonna get as much use out of that as possible before it loses its luster, okay?
it lost its luster, and now you're just polishing it back to a shine.
Right. Well, you know what?
Daisy and Annie are gonna be like in their 80s, and Annie's gonna be like,
Remember when you stole my memories?
"You stole my memories," and
Did
Daisy's
you
gonna
eat
be
all
like,
the ice cream?
"That's your old age. Your memory's just going. It wasn't me."
Annie's like, my memory's fine, you little scamp. Like, chases her with her cane.
Well, Doctor, do the colonies have their vaccines as we promised?
Oh yeah, Reverend and his peeps all got it. Which reminds me, everybody should drop by the med bay. That's the word.
We probably should all get vaccinated for that. I completely forgot.
The needle would break in my arm.
You don't need it in the first place.
I apologize. I attempt humor at times.
It's amazing.
Billy like pauses for a moment before suddenly getting it and just starts snickering.
Excellent.
We love our captain.
Everyone who is susceptible to brain melting viruses, stop by the med bay later.
I think that's me. I might have to consult with my doctor though.
Oh my god.
Well, these are my office hours, so
Yeah, just like sidesteps to
Yeah,
that, like,
Billy raises a
distract
hand.
people.
It's like, do we have to have confirmation that we have a brain?
I'm fairly certain you had a brain when I did a checkup.
I'm fairly certain we have the equipment to scan if need be.
If anything's changed since our last checkup, you should inform me.
Oh my god.
Now I'm just paranoid that people in this crew don't have brains. What else are they hiding?
I mean, actions do speak louder than words. Well, in that case, Annie, please go inform Daisy, and we will make way for the mining colony. Would it
When
be rude
Annie-
to?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Would it be rude to leave without saying goodbye to the Reverend? I do not wish to speak to him.
We just wave from the ship as we go.
It's true.
All right.
When Annie leaves the room, she does so very slowly and like keeps glancing back over her shoulder to see if anybody's gonna like stop and volunteer. And when she gets to the door, she like walks out, but she trails her hands along the sides of the door and sticks her head back in and leans there. Just very
Do you need an
slowly
emotional
disappears.
support hand?
She's like, no, it's fine. I got it. And then
Sparky
she like slowly
gives
disappears.
Annie the heads up of like, you got this, and also you're fucked.
You got this. You're full of shit.
Yeah.
She just leaves.
I'm gonna go prep some bandages, maybe.
Probably some sedatives.
Yeah, maybe.
Do humans still use straitjackets, or were those deemed inhumane?
Some people still use them, though probably not medically.
I do not understand.
What's a straitjacket?
Oh.
It's the opposite of a gay jacket.
Hey!
Oh, I was just gonna say something similar.
It doesn't have sequins, goddammit.
Not to be confused with a bi jacket.
Yes.
That's the one that
That's
always
just called a
sits kind of weird.
tailcoat, honey.
Anyways, so Annie, yeah.
God damn it, yeah.
Here we go.
Don't worry, we can go for break after you're done.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Which
So I'll get stuff thrown at me and then we can go to break.
I'm probably gonna need the break after acting Daisy for this.
Probably.
Oh wait, like one last thing, like as Annie was leaving, like Lev leans over to like Sparky's like, who's Lily?
Well, you see, we tried to have a beach party and we'll just get it from there.
Just the whole beach episode replayed.
Oh my god.
All right, well, I guess no more putting it off. Annie walks with purpose toward Daisy's room. And she knocks.
There's clearly somebody in the room. You can hear like soldering sounds, like just like a sizzling sound. But there's no answer.
Mentally, Annie's like, oh, nobody home. She's like, can I get away with leaving? Christ.
Boy, look at all this paperwork. Wonder what my brother's up to.
Right? She knocks louder, but it's in like a funky pattern, you know, as if that might lessen the blow somehow.
Yep.
Internally screaming the whole time.
There's a pause, and some like shuffling sounds. Excuse me. And then Daisy comes to the door, and answers it. It's like, oh, hey, Annie.
Hey, Dace. Are you busy?
Not really. I'm just fixing some loose connections on this tablet.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I come in for a minute?
No, not at all. And she pulls out a chair and sits down. She seems to be in better spirits than she was, yesterday.
Annie waits until Daisy sits down. Where is she sitting in relation to her soldering tools?
Next to them, like she's sitting at her little desk area.
Okay, Annie stands up from where she's sitting. She goes over, gives Daisy a pat on the cheek very gently, and just slides the soldering iron a little farther away from her.
She gives you the weirdest look, like, are you okay?
Annie was fully expecting her to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She goes and sits back down. And when Annie is serious, she's not like the, somber, she just doesn't do that, right? Like she's still upbeat, but a little more reserved. Like it's not, now we have some devastating news for you. Like it's not that vibe. But
Yeah.
She's clear, like there's something different about her. Like her face, the smile is still genuine, but it's not, she's not about to crack a joke or anything. But she gets right to it. Like she's not one to, it's important. So she's not going to beat around the bush around it. So she just says like, hey, I did end up hearing back from the trash pandas and I just wanted to come and give you an update on what they gave me.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing I'm guessing it's not good news.
It's not good news, but it's not horrible news. So before we really start discussing, I just want you to keep that in mind. I know that you're going to be upset, but I just want you to know that the crew is going to help you do whatever you need to do, regardless of what that choice is. But what I did gather from them was that they did send her out to gather some information. She is at a scrapyard, and that is the last time that they heard from her. They had her at the drop point. She was able to give them an update from there, and then the comms cut out. They did not receive any more information from her. But if you want to go and take a look into it, we have been cleared to do so. And some of the crew will come with us, and the other part of the crew looks like they're going to be staying with the mining colony. So I just wanted to give you everything that I have, and just to let you know that whatever you would like to do, you have the support to do it, and we will go from there.
And as you tell her this, like, her face goes from smiling to a little concerned to pale. And the more you talk, you can see, like, she has her hand resting on the top of the desk. You can see it start to shake more and more as you get further along into the information. And her eyes get a little bit wider as her left hand moves to, like, her sternum. And you can see that she is having a panic attack.
Is it too late to eat that glass?
Yes, it is.
Damn. Can we like tap out on the next teammate out here?
You have a doctor.
That is true. That is true.
And comms.
That is also true. Annie is not unfamiliar with this feeling. Seeing Daisy kind of slowly follow these steps down to panic attack, it's something that Annie is very familiar with. You know, and it's different for everybody, right? Like, she can't just take her own experience and be like, this is what Daisy needs. But the most important part is that she's there, and she doesn't, like, her expression doesn't change. She's not pitying or anything like that. She doesn't look, you know, she doesn't, oh, poor Daisy. She's that rock, that very, like, you know, I'll be strong enough so that Daisy doesn't have to be right now. She does get up from her chair, and she goes and she kneels in front of Daisy, and she just kind of, like, places her hands like on either side of her knees, just as, like, a steadying gesture, and just kind of tries to take stock of where Daisy's at, like what her breathing is like. Is she hyperventilating? Is she, you know, like, where is she? What's kind of status is she in?
Yeah. And she's not quite hyperventilating, but she is taking, like, short, kind of rapid breaths.
Mm-hmm.
And as you, like, kneel in front of her, like, she's looking physically, like, her eyeballs are pointed towards you, but she's not looking at you. And you can tell that she is starting to really hard disassociate.
Mm-hmm. Annie's voice softens as she, like, tries to kind of talk Daisy through it. It's more so just, like, you know, when you talk just to have your voice so that somebody can focus on that if they need to. And she, like, reaches for one of Daisy's hands and puts it between hers and just kind of, like, rubs circles into her hands with the both of hers so that the contact is there, but it's gentle so that it's not startling. Mm. And she just kind of talks, and what she says probably doesn't make any sense. It's just, you know, it's going to be okay, like, calming, soothing things, but nothing, like, she just lets her kind of experience what she's experiencing, because she doesn't want to, like, startle her out of it or anything like that, or, you know, be too harsh about it or critical, but she wants to be a presence so that Daisy does have something to focus on, and she's trying to, like, get her attention focused on Annie instead, so that she can kind of, like, help her steady her breathing. Like, Annie's shoulders are very deliberate, like, she's clearly taking very deep breaths and trying to get Daisy to match her pace almost, like, mm-hmm. just so that she can kind of slow her breathing. But yeah, she's just trying to be a presence, like a rocky, like, you know, solid presence.
Yeah. and that works really well. Like you can, especially the touch sensation, so the circles, you can see like her vision starts to narrow back down, where she's actually literally seeing you instead of just being like totally spaced out. And then it just sort of hits like a wall. She just starts crying and sort of doesn't like fall out of her chair, but sort of just moves out of her chair and just puts her arms around you and just is sobbing. And it's like, okay, we gotta go, and let's try, and we gotta find out what happened and rescue her.
Annie starts like pulling her fingers through Daisy's hair just very softly, like she's combing through her hair. And her voice is still soft, and she says, I touched base with Captain, and we're gonna go as soon as we can get there. We're gonna go on our way now. But before we jump into anything, we just need to calm down and breathe a little bit and make a plan. And once we have a plan in place, you bet your ass we're out there, okay?
And she nods, and like you can tell like she's starting to come back to herself a little bit more. Instead of her hand shaking, like she's actively stemming with her fingers to try and ground herself. She's like, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I need something to help me calm down. And then I need something to work on so that I don't think about this for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to go get you some cold water or some juice, some snacks? I can sit with you if you want. Because I have some work that I have to finish looking into. So, I mean, we can just kind of sit and vibe together if you want while you work on your stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good. I might have to get something from Lev. I think I need something stronger than water.
Yeah, no worries, kid. I get you.
But yeah, I'll go do that, and then I'll come hang out with you, if that's okay.
Okay. Did you want to hang out in my room just to change the scenery, or?
And like she just nods emphatically.
Yeah. And he just kind of chuckles a little bit. She's like, "Yeah, no, I figured. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go back. You just come on in. You know, knock to let me know that you're there, so that you don't scare the absolute fuck out of me when you just show up in my room. But just knock and come in. I'll leave the door unlocked."
She manages it's like a half chuckle, half sob, sort of sound at that, and she just nods again, and kind of picks herself up and shakily walks down the hall towards the infirmary.
Before she gets up, Annie gives her one last squeeze, and she pulls back, and she like uses her fingers to push Daisy's hair away from her face, you know, smooths her hair down, dusts her off, makes her, you know, presentable. She's all good. And then she just kind of gives her a little kiss on the cheek, and she says, "You're going to be okay."
And she gives a very crying smile and nods, and it's still crying, but just sort of nods and moves towards the door. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Annie feels too awkward saying "you're welcome" when she just emotionally devastated this girl. So she just, you know, she gives her as good a smile as she can muster, and you know, winks at her, and picks herself up off the ground, and she's gonna head back to her room and get it all ready for Daisy so that they can just chill and vibe and not, you know, be emotionally devastated. Hopefully, I don't know.
I love that. And yeah, Daisy makes her way down the hall to the infirmary. I assume Lev is there at this point.
Yeah, just like busy
This
work.
is the team tag off. Go, Lev.
Doctor time.
So she walks in a little shakily. Not like she's gonna fall over, but like you can just tell she's very shaken. Very clearly has been crying and is still crying a little bit. She's like, hey,
Hey, kiddo.
do you have something to help me calm down?
Liv turns around and like comes back with like a cup of hot chocolate and some other thing that is possibly a calm down for something. And it's like, I also just have like sedatives if you want, like very low level ones.
Yeah, she looks at the hot chocolate and gives like a little smile, and she's like, thanks. Yeah, I was thinking like weed or something.
Fucking on it. Puts those things back, is like, yeah. Just like starts going through some shit. It's like, do you want smoke, oral, patch, whatever?
And she sort of like just grabs the first thing that you hand her.
Like, and like Lil will just like kind of hand it over and be like, it's gonna be okay.
Oh, hey, thanks for the raid. So, yeah. So
Hot chocolate flavored weed.
I just saw our chat, Captain spelling the weed is Seattle back. That's great. So yeah, Daisy is, sniffling, and her voice is still pretty shaky, and she's like, yeah, thanks. This'll help.
And if you ever like just want to talk to someone, I'm always here.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Probably not right now, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and she tries to like say I appreciate that, but only gets about half of it out before she just starts crying again.
Like, if like level like come like motion be like hug, like yeah, no, one hug, one armed.
Yeah, and she just gives you like this death grip bear hug.
Level like just like, because Lev is very muscular.
Yeah.
We know this about Lev. So I'll just like hold her very gently and be like, yeah. You get that weed in your system, and if you want to talk later, that's okay. And also later I have to give you a vaccination for the whole brain exploding virus thing, but we can talk about that one later.
Yeah, that's that also seems like it's important later. Yes.
Maybe a little important, but we're not back in that space yet, so it can wait until we get closer to there. You're trained with like a gun, right?
And that's enough of a weird question to like get her out of that for a second. So like her brain goes, what? And so she focuses it on what you're saying because it's so different from what has consuming all of her attention. Yeah, I have a stun. An EMP gun. I don't usually use bullets, but like it's the same principle, I guess.
Well, just wanted to make sure, because like I don't know how much crazy firefights your crew's been in before, but if we're going to be doing some root and toot and rescuing, we might as well go all in, right?
Yeah. And like her face gets pale again. Because unfortunately, the last time she got anywhere near a gunfight, she almost died. So she's like, yeah, I got...
Could like put a hand on her shoulders, like, or you leave it to me. And that's okay, too.
Okay, yep. I was in a gunfight. I got shot in the gut. I almost died. That was the thing.
Well, I'll also be there for that, so...
And she's like, actively getting this weed ready to consume, like very quickly.
I'll literally just help her with that. It's like, leave that one. Okay, I will stop touching that one.
She gives a thumbs up. Okay, yeah. We'll talk. When I'm.
You take all
not
the time
like
you
this.
need. Yeah.
And she sort of makes a big noise and nods to you. Gives you awkward finger guns.
Lev absolutely does finger guns back.
And then walks back towards Annie's room, still sniffling and crying, but a little better than she was before.
Lev immediately like turns around and just like fucking head plants into the desk, like, God damn it!
So yeah, Daisy's heading back to Annie's room. That feels like a good time for a break. So we'll be back.
Before we break,
Oh,
I
sure.
have a question.
Absolutely.
Are there any snacks in the universe, in the galaxy that we're playing in, that are considered contraband? And if so, does Annie have the skills to procure them?
Oh, there's absolutely snacks like that are like,
Okay,
Can
but
you
I
improvise?
imagine that like a lot of like chips and stuff that had a lot of dust to them got counterbanded for like any zero G
Oh.
environments. Bugles. Make bugles banned.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there's a lot of snacks that got like, one competitor would get a law passed so that, the other company couldn't make this particular snack. Has absolutely nothing to do with like how healthy the snack is or anything like that. It's just a way of knocking out competition. So there's tons of snacks like that are really good that just aren't distributed because of stupid reasons like that. But
I don't know. I just feel like Annie's probably the bitch who has a contraband snack stash. I don't know. Like that just seems like something really in character for her. I feel like when Daisy gets back, Annie just has like this full, gorgeous, sparkling display set up. Like Daisy's just walked into a high-end department store and she's like, "Pick your
Okay.
poison, bitch!" Like
But Annie has every flavor of pepero.
Yes, she does.
That's amazing. Yeah, I could just imagine that being like, hey, you want some gummy savers?
Yeah.
The kind they don't make anymore.
Yeah. And she does the like the eyebrow thing. Like, which one do you want, bitch?
Definitely gets a sobby chuckle and snotty, tear-stained, disgusting smile.
Annie hands her over some tissues.
Awesome. All right, with that, we'll go on a break. So we'll be back in just a bit.
Okay.
And we're back. So, Annie and Daisy are gonna vibe and chill out and try and get Daisy's mind off of things. What's everybody else doing?
Getting my vaccine.
Piloting the ship.
That's fair.
Yeah, I guess we're leaving, huh?
I think so. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I thought I was gonna sneeze. So was the plan to head towards the mining planet then, or?
I think mining first. I think was
First.
the.
All right, it's gonna take you probably at least a few days to get there. Is there anything that you would like to do in the meantime?
Has anyone checked on Rip? Like, he's on the ship, right?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yes. He is on the ship.
This ship takes off and he's waving his arms like, hey!
Just standing there on the dock, watching the ship leave. Well,
Billy does
tarnation.
like probably seek him out every once in a while with like a meal and stuff because she does hang out with him.
Yeah.
What else really is-
Yeah, he's just hanging out, doing his thing, enjoying not being around everybody, but, you know, also not being too far from people. He's basically like a cat that doesn't really want to socialize or interact with you, but wants to be, you know, like in the same room while you do your thing. It's basically what Rip's like.
It's weirdly endearing.
Right. But yeah, he thanks Billy for the food. So anytime Billy brings him dinner, he'll be like, "Oh, appreciate it," and then just start eating.
I'm sure at some point Lev will have to fucking like corner him and be like, "You come get your fucking vaccination."
Oh, she also goes and gets her vaccination and makes sure Petey Jr. gets his vaccination too.
Yeah, now that we have solved that, we can kind of start maybe working on the Peach Junior thing.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Yeah, Rip goes and gets his vaccination without any protest at all. Like he's eager to get that thing.
Shocking! I thought he hated the doctor.
I mean, he's not a fan of doctors, but he's
More not a fan of his brain
yeah,
doing the thing.
yeah, exactly.
He's not a fan of his innards becoming his outards, so that's a wise decision.
And Lev does have lollipops for everyone.
I love that. Yeah, Daisy's happy to get her vaccine as well. Maybe not happy in this circumstance, but promptly comes in and gets her vaccine. Anything else you want to do before you get to the planet?
Probably make sure that all of our like weapons work in case we need to have another railgun fight.
Good call.
Yeah. So I think, but that's what Sparky would be working on.
Yeah, you're able to do routine maintenance. Everything looks fine. The ship is in.
Probably try to raise them on comms a few more times while we're on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time you do, all you get back is like a white noise. There's no real contact. Does Annie try to contact Alice directly again?
Yeah, I was actually gonna wait till you guys were done and mention it. She's gonna reach out and see if she can get Alice to see how Liam and Seth are.
All you get back are 3 frog emojis and like a thumbs up.
Okay, so they're good.
But still nothing more than that. Like,
Yeah, no, she's good with that.
okay.
I feel like she would be a little more concerned if it was like 3 flames and a thumbs down emoji, you know? But 3 frogs and a thumbs up, yeah, that's all right.
All right. All right. Well, then, unless there's anything else, you arrive some days later at the planet, and I need folks to do a site check or computers check to check like sensors and things like that.
I'll do computers.
All right.
I will also do computers.
I'll do sight, but can I add my cybernetics?
Yeah.
I want you to
I
know,
looked with
Raven,
my peepers.
I have an 18 in computers.
Oh goodness.
I'm so
Oh,
salty.
Sparky.
Roll 20.
+8. Okay. Good lord. 46 computers. So
I have a plus 28 to that.
yep. So
More if I get to use my holo card. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're fine. So Lev and Billy, with sight, you look out the windows, and the section of the planet where the miners are and where the ship was, looks like glass. It has obviously been bombarded from orbit pretty heavily. There doesn't seem to be any structures left on the surface. Good news, the ship is like completely gone as well, so there's zero threat of the biological weapon. With computers, Sparky and Captain, the sensors show that there was some sort of ship battle in the over the planet not too terribly long ago, like maybe within the last 2 or 3 weeks. You see that the surface is destroyed, but you are not able to see if the underground structures were affected. However, Annie, with 46, you're able to start scanning like below the surface, and you can see that the underground structures are intact. It doesn't look like the damage continues underground.
Are there any ships orbiting?
There are not. There's
Is
no
there any
ships.
debris in orbit?
A little bit here and there. Some of it you're pretty sure is from your fight.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
There's also some new debris in orbit as well. Also, Annie, with the 46, you're able to write a program to like reconstruct with a simulation what might have happened based on like radiation trails and things like that.
Hell yeah. It's cool as fuck.
Yeah. And you're able to see like a ship come in and start shooting at the planet, and then another ship come out of FTL and start just hammering into the other ship. Some fighting taking place, and then like some shuttles going down to the surface and then coming back, and then the first ship taking off and the second ship taking off after it.
Well, so, I mean, she would have put that up on the screen, I assume, for everybody to see, right?
Yeah.
Like, whew.
And the computer gives back like a, the margin of error grows exponentially the longer the simulation plays out. So
Mhm.
the end of the simulation is a lot less certain than the beginning of it.
she's concerned, but also like the 3 frog emojis are the only thing that are keeping her sane at the moment. It's just like 3 frogs, it's fine. There were 3 of them. So
So, what would you like to do?
Shall we land and inspect the mines?
Do we? I know we don't, but this is just like, do we have any kind of probes that we could send down? I feel like we did that once. Maybe we jury rigged something.
I think it was rigged, but
Yeah.
Captain's the closest
yeah.
thing you have to a probe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. You could probably make some sort of rudimentary version of a probe with stuff that you have in the cargo hold.
Yeah, it doesn't need anything special on it. I'm mostly worried if there's something we can't detect that might cause us issues upon landing.
That's fair.
It does not hurt to be paranoid. It just takes time.
I'm just imagining someone saying launching probe and Captain just drops out of the bottom of the
Yeah.
ship.
In the Mass
Okay,
Effect
but
voice.
same,
Oh, totally.
but like
And
in
then
the
she just
style-
like lands.
but like
a
in the style
crater.
of- in the style of Steven Universe, because like the diamond ships and stuff that they pilot. But I'm like imagining the captain dropping out the bottom of just like, yeah, that could be animated very
That
easily.
tracks. Yeah, just something we can drop in and like, like a shoe and cube. I don't want to get sliced up.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, let's do a... I need a sight roll from somebody to find components. An engineering roll to put it together, and then a computer's roll to program it.
I can do sight. Probably, yeah, I was gonna say pull billion for engineering.
Okay.
And then
Collectively...
I can
you-
do computers as well if needs be.
Yeah, collectively y'all find components very easily. Throw something together with a 29.
And thank you. Slightly better.
And yeah, program it pretty well. Yeah, you've got a pretty good rudimentary sensor array bundle that you can send down that'll report back.
It's not pretty, but it works.
Yeah.
And I think also, if we can, have it broadcasting just a simple like ping, just to see if there's any communication, like network or otherwise, just to see if there is anything there.
Yeah. It basically looks like you strapped half a Radio Shack to a 50-gallon drum.
That's what I'm picturing, yeah.
But yeah, you send it down with like a parachute or whatever, and you start getting readings back. And it tells you that the surface temperature is much hotter than it would normally be. But it's not like a hostile temperature. Like you could be down there and survive, just it would be very uncomfortable. The radiation is within acceptable levels. Like you don't have to worry about radiation poisoning if you go down there. You don't even have to be in radiation suits. So whatever did all the damage, it looks like it was mostly like kinetic weapons. And what else did you want to know?
If there were any communication networks, kind of like if you're pinging a router, I just want to do that and like see if there's anything left standing.
Yeah, there seems to be one transmitter coming from one of the mines.
Okay.
That is broadcasting out.
Okay. Maybe tap into that if we can with it. I know it's super rudimentary though, so like as long as we know where it is, that's
Yeah.
the main thing.
It pinpoints the location, tries to broadcast to it, but it's only a transmitter. It's not a receiver.
Okay.
Is
we
something
pick
else
up
that you're
what
able
it's
to figure
saying?
out. It's not
Yeah.
saying anything at the moment.
Oh, interesting. That would probably be the white noise.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Sparky will share all that information with the rest of the crew.
Okay.
Question is, who's going on the away party?
I'm immune to most things like radiation and any other kind of chemical weaponry.
True. Rip is expendable.
I know mines.
You shall be called the Fellowship of the Ring. I don't think Sparky would
And
want to
my
go down.
rip.
Yeah, and my cowboy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Sparky's not going down. They're not keen on it. They wanted to come back and help, but they're not good in a fight.
Billy and I are capable of going if no one else wishes to volunteer.
Pretty sure I heard Rip say he wanted to go.
Rip just shoots you a look. It's like, yeah, I'll go.
The both of
And
you
Billy-
please suit up.
Billy kind of mutters at her lap and was like, damn, Sparky's got better hearing than me.
Sparky's like on the other side of the room, further from Rip than you are.
Billy was probably standing right next to Rip.
Yeah.
Billy's just like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Damn, assassin whispering. Wow.
Gotta ask them how they do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then Daisy speaks up. Says, I could use a distraction. I'll go.
If you're sure, Daisy, all of you please go put on the appropriate equipment for potential radiation. Lev, would you mind fetching us some sort of first aid kit in case somebody down there needs aid?
Should I just come along then? I can help out.
If you're comfortable, I will not stop you.
Yeah, sure, I'll come down.
We might want to bring, or at least get prepped as enough of the vaccine for the miners too.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
That is true.
we can, I mean, like, Dr. Carter can start, like, getting that. I'm assuming we've been getting it ready as we went anyway.
Yeah. Steadily making more of it as fast as you can, basically.
Yeah.
Then the rest of you please remain here and listen if there's any form of communications.
We'll also keep an eye out for any ships that come back.
It's a good call.
Dick.
So
what I'm
are
worried
we not like half the people stay here, half go to do Daisy's thing, or
I think it's just you and me.
oh, okay.
I think we're the only
Well,
ones
like,
left on the
we're
ship.
Were we
really
gonna
like-
stop here first and check, and then if it like was bad,
Yeah.
split up, or like if it's fine,
I think
we
it
just
was
all
just
go.
check here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think this will take a huge amount of time.
No.
If there were three
Oh.
frogs, like Annie says.
Okay, I I was under the impression because I was trying to decide if Annie was gonna have a whole thing where she needed to decide if she wanted to stay because she wanted to check on Liam and Seth.
Oh, like if we were
also-
dropping off half the
Yeah,
crew.
so
Yeah,
I was
okay.
under the impression that we were dropping whoever off here and then the rest of us were immediately leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely still do that. I think Daisy is just like, I'll go check, and then
Just Annie and Sparky yeet off with the ship.
Well, yeah, that's why I figured. I was like, oh, okay, Daisy's staying. That makes sense. She would rather have a distraction. Cool.
Mhm.
Like, Annie will go in her place. At least somebody needs to be here to check on the boys because they're fucking idiots. So yeah, I guess whatever works. If we're staying and then all leaving as a group, then Annie would go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sparky will stay on the ship.
If you do end up splitting up, then Daisy will come back to the ship to go with you.
Okay, so Annie will go with the group. And if we have to come back, if Daisy comes back, Annie will come back with her.
Okay.
So Sparky's alone on the ship.
With
With-
Dr. Carter and
with-
PD Jr.
Yep.
So Sparky's alone on the ship. They're probably just gonna hole up in the bridge and like route all the controls to there so they can figure stuff out.
Okay. Yeah, you pilot the shuttle down.
Billy is actually going to be helping people with their radiation suits by basically grabbing a pack of duct tape and making it so it's more flexible at the joints, basically like cinching them for people because she noticed that the suits that they have for the ship are not like what she's used to in a mining suit, which has like tighter joints and stuff.
What year is this that we still have bad suits?
Every
Capitalist
year.
That's the year.
Oh my goodness.
But she's trying to help mitigate how fucking clumsy all of them were last time.
That's funny. Yeah, you're able to do that. You get the ship down. And as you open up the doors and step out, yeah, everything it's like a giant parking lot that's empty and covered in broken glass in Las Vegas in August.
That's fun.
But yeah, that's what it's like. And you can make out like the mine entrance off in the distance.
Why is there so much glass in Las Vegas?
There's not. I'm saying it's like if it was a parking lot and it was covered in broken glass.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I've never been to Las Vegas, so you could tell me that they have giant lizards running around, and I'd be like, yeah, that checks out.
I mean, they probably
they
do.
kind of do.
Yeah.
Now you guys are just pulling my legs. But anyway, whatever.
But yeah, that is the scene that you walk out onto, and I think we'll wrap it up there. So next session we'll cover going into the mine and what you find there. So yeah, that's the end for this session. We're gonna raid in a minute, but before we do, I want to give everybody a chance to say what their favorite part was, where we can find them, and anything they would like to share or plug. And we'll start with Goody.
Let's hear my favorite part. It's always fun playing the Reverend. He's the worst.
He is so great.
But he's fun. I don't know, just I like the surreptitious meeting of don't tell Daisy yet, but and just trying to help her get back to her girlfriend while also like, oh no, the miners, we haven't heard from them. And we're a mess, but it's our mess. We're doing our best.
Right.
But yeah, I will be here next game session.
Awesome. Hannah, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share, plug?
I really enjoyed the brief and very awkward interaction between Daisy and Billy and PD Jr. It amused me greatly, and I enjoyed it. And it's just those tiny little moments that you're like, yeah, what the fuck is going on here? You could find me if you try, I assume. There will be no prizes, though.
All right. Alex, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you want to share, plug?
Probably Rip just getting voluntold for stuff at this point. He's just given up on resisting. Just like, well, this is gonna happen whether I want it or not. So, well, no point in crying over spilt milk. Sorry, that was a very, very Texas saying. But yeah, that was probably just the way that Rip kind of gets bossed around by the crew is just very amusing to me. Yeah, no, you can find me back here next week, where I will play Billy again.
Awesome. V, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share, plug?
Yeah, I've got to say, just the whole bit at the end where it was like, wow, Sparky, your hearing's way better than mine. It's like, yeah, I heard Rip that he said he wanted to go. It was really great. The talk with Daisy and Annie wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. Nobody got blown up with a torch or anything like that. So, just Annie sliding it gently away, like, we're just gonna put this over here. But yeah, it was a really good session. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm excited to see what we'll find in the mines next week. I'm equal parts excited and equal parts absolutely terrified.
Excellent.
With Raven as the DM or the GM, it's up in the air. It could go either way for any session. We're always left on our toes at all times, even when we're not supposed to be. It's the default setting. As for me, I am a digital artist, so if you want to see my work, I have an art Twitter, which is @PepperoDraws, and I also have a coffee page, which is coffee.com/PepperoDraws as well. And I've been updating some of my pieces there, so they're all in nice chronological order if you don't want to sift through my Twitter. But yeah, I'll be here next week. That's me.
All right. And then Quinn, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
My favorite part was during the Annie and Daisy chat, but it was when V left a solid 3-second pause before asking if it was too late to eat that glass. I did clip it. It's in the Discord and it's also on the Twitch channel. It is a much longer pause than I thought it was.
I panicked. I was like, what do I do?
Like, there was dead air for a solid 3 or 4 seconds, and I'm like, wait, did I miss the... Oh, no, there it is. It was just fantastic.
Quite a panic in me in that.
Yeah. And like I think I said in the Zoom chat, it's like, it's not me having the horrible, awkward conversations for once. So that was just nice to see what that looks like. Yeah, you can find me here next week, same time, same channel. I will mention on my Twitter, which I don't even remember what it is, but I'll mention it when it comes out. When the system that I'm designing is done, it's getting there. We'll see how it goes this year. But I'll make mention of it. You'll hear about it.
I'm so excited for that. It's ridiculously excited for that. Awesome. My favorite part, weirdly, probably playing Daisy having a panic attack. I'm usually so focused on producing and GMing and the 1,000,001 things that are happening during a stream that it's hard to get emotional scenes where I can really just all in. So that was a lot of fun to just be able to play her just completely breaking down. As weird as that sounds, it was very fun to play. And I always love interactions between, heartfelt interactions between Annie and Daisy. It's always really wholesome and usually at least just a little bit funny, if not hilarious. And I really appreciated Annie's reaction to Daisy having the panic attack, which was perfect. Exactly what you want to do in a situation like that. It was so good. And then of course the whole session was great. Everybody's reactions to things is always just chef's kiss. So yeah, it was really good. I'm looking forward to the next session. Where you can find me next will be Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time for the next episode of Champions of the Fae. And then over on Start Playing Games, Thursday will be session 0 for Badlands of Time, which is a time-traveling horror tabletop game using Monster of the Week. That's going to be a lot of fun. If that's of interest to anyone, you can sign up for that over on Start Playing Games. I'll have a link in chat here in a minute. I think that's it for all of that stuff. Sponsors are Fundamental RPG. It's a system that Animus runs on. It's a pretty simple D20 system. It's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play any style of game that you want. Currently, it's on sale over on Amazon for $8. And the cool thing is that's an Amazon sale. So they sell it for $8, and then I still get full royalties for it, which is really cool. I don't know how they can do that, but I am more than happy to take Amazon's money. So that's a really cool thing that's happening. You can also pick up the PDF over at my coffee shop. Links are there in chat. And then Raven Flight Games, which is the brand that I use for private GM games. That's over at Start Playing Games. There's a link right there in chat where you can sign up for that Badlands of Time, or you can hire me to run a custom game for you. There's a few different options there. And then finally, we're affiliated with Die Hard Dice. If you use the code BlackFeather at dieharddice.com, you can get 10% off of your order. And I think that's everything. So that was a lot of fun. Can't wait for next session. We're going to go raid the Onyx Path. Looks like they're playing some tabletop games. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.